Live from Oberlin, Ohio, 1320 AM, 107.7 FM, WOBLradio.com, and available anytime on YouTube. It's time for the Everyday Ag Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Twining, and this is your connection to the everyday life of the backbone of America. Let's dive in to another Agventure.
Well, hello and welcome back. The first show of May, and it's 105 degrees outside. It's warm. It's good. I like it. I'll take it. It's a little sweaty today, but we'll take it. John and I are sitting here chatting it up before the show, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, we got to get stuff going. We got to go. Welcome back. That has been the story of my life the last 2 weeks. It's been a whirlwind. I was telling John, I sat down in my office at a couple minutes after 5 to type the notes for tonight's program. And usually I put 2 or 3 hours into these. I knew what I wanted to say. I just had to get it on paper so that I wouldn't get off track. Today alone was hectic. I hauled seed beans this morning, which I did yesterday morning too. Have you guys seen the dust flying out there? Guys are moving. Whether they're fitting ground, putting seed in the ground. The one farm that I hauled to yesterday morning, took soybeans to, I got there at, 8:30. They had 20 acres of beans to plant and 60 acres of corn, and they were done planting. And they run a mess of ground. Next place I went to yesterday and went back to today, they've been hammering. They run a lot more ground, so it'll take them a little more time. But they ran shifts in their bean planter from Monday night into yesterday into today, whatever. But they planted 425 acres of beans straight. One guy gets out, next guy gets in and goes. And they've been trucking. They've been moving it. Weather like this, that's what it takes. I can't tell you the last time that we've had an early May this nice. At least I don't remember. I remember a couple years ago, probably 10 years ago now, we planted beans on the 1st of May just to say we did it. But, that was it. We had a good day like today. We planted beans, and then it was messy for the next couple weeks. So we just held off. But anyhow, so I hauled seed this morning, ran errands, got my pigs like I do every Wednesday, had to go pick up pig feed and cow feed, stopped in Rochester because I'm getting new gutters on my house, and my dad and uncle were working on a little wood project for me over at their wood shop. Picked up some insulated panels down the road from there, ran back, got those unloaded, went over and signed my tax papers finally, came back and flew through chores. I'm telling you, it's been go, nonstop. Once we get, before we dive into tonight's show in depth, I want to do one more quick shout out, although a brief shout out, to my wonderful sister-in-law, Sammy Parsons, who helped a great deal with last month's shows. She's down southern Ohio, and they got hit with some pretty rough weather last night. Local areas really got damaged. They seem to be good and fine, and I'm thankful for that. But a big shout out to her for putting April out for us. And if you ever have the itch to drive to southern Ohio and get some ink done, head down and see Sammy at the Inked Odyssey. On the front of tornadoes, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in western Ohio that got hit with those last night. One of my good friends lost her whole barn right down on all of her show calves. Luckily, nobody got injured. Nobody died. The barn's, as far as I can tell, a total loss. But she's strong. She's tough. They'll rebuild it. They'll get through it. It'll be bigger and better than it was. But thoughts and prayers going out to them. So we've had great weather. We could have had bad rain last night, and we would have been nice to get a little bit of rain, right? But we didn't. We can still roll. Weather's been favorable the last 2 weeks. Like I said, everybody's been out there turning dirt and putting seeds in the ground, and a lot of guys are done, like I was telling you. We haven't started. Not that we don't want to. It's just early, and we have time. Sunrise was just in last week and put burn down for us, which is the spray that kills all of the early weeds and keeps that ground clear for the good crops to actually come through and not have to fight. That we should be clear to plant, because there's a 7 to 10 day window on that after they spray. We should be good to start planting. I think tomorrow or Friday is our go time. But that doesn't mean we're going to be going tomorrow. Maybe this weekend. We'll see. In the meantime, the last week and a half, I've been hauling all of my cow manure that has been stockpiling for a year, because you can't haul when there's crops on the field. You can't haul when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's miserable. It's not good for the ground running it up. It's not good for our waterways, having that manure running in and going up to the lake, and we're drinking it. So just like you make hay when the sun shines, you haul manure when the sun shines. And that's been a whole process, a lot of breakdowns. The field I'm hauling to is about a half-hour round trip on a tractor, which it's only a mile up the road, but you're on a tractor, and you've got to load the spreader and all that stuff. So it's been a process. I'm almost done. I think maybe 5 loads to go, and I'll be done with that. And then I'll get that disked in, get the manure worked into the soil, because if you just lay it up on top, there's too much nitrogen. It's too bold for the crops. It essentially eats them away. So you'll work that into the ground and make it one with the soil, and then it's diluted out, and it's better for the crops. So that's kind of the plan for the next couple days going forward, if it doesn't rain, which we're in May, so what's it going to do? It feels like it might rain tonight yet, but hopefully it doesn't. We'll see what happens. So we've already gone through almost 10 minutes of showtime, guys. I think let's take, look at that. I got 10-second weather. Today is sunny and a high of 78. Partly cloudy with a chance of showers tonight, low of 54. There you go. You guys are getting your weather today. And showers likely tomorrow. High of 60, really? A high of 60. Tomorrow's going to be a nice day. That's my kind of weather. 60s, 70s, a little bit of sun. I spent a day and a half out hauling manure the first couple of days, and I already look like, I'm tan. I'm ready to go for the summer. But I tan super easy. Anyhow, I'm getting off track again. Let's take a quick break for Keller's, and then we will get back into action. If John's ready. I can stall for a little bit, John.
No, we're ready.
We're good. Let's go.
Brought to you in part by Keller Meats in Litchfield, just north of the Circle on State Route 83. They are your prime destination for all your locally sourced beef, pork, lamb, and goat custom processing, as well as a full retail counter. Go to kellermeats.com or visit them on Facebook for more information.
All righty, we're back on. We took that little break, and John showed me another note across the table. He's asking how the puppy is. she's doing great. Little Stormy, if you guys remember Stormy. She's a ball of energy and gets into everything, but every day she amazes me. She's attentive. I can let her loose and go do my thing, and I'll be 10, 15 minutes, and I come back and I think, uh-oh, where'd Stormy go? She's over laying by the barn, hanging out with the big dogs, that's exactly, that's perfect. That's how I want her, and this summer's going to be fun working with her and getting her on the cows. While I'm talking about that, we got two free Pekin ducks this weekend that a friend had on his pond, and he didn't want them on his pond anymore, so he caught them and brought them over. Now they're on our farm pond, which we like to call them guard ducks. A couple years ago, we had a Pekin that we didn't butcher, and she started laying eggs, so we kept her because duck eggs. But she was a guard duck because she lived in the barn, and every time someone walked in the barn she didn't know, she'd start quacking at them. She wouldn't chase them or anything, but you knew someone was in there. All right, back up real quick. Back to Keller's. We just heard, their commercial, and I got to do one of what I find is, one of my most fond springtime rituals, I guess. Last year was the first year I got to help with it, and this year I got to do it again. On Sunday, we loaded up all of their cows and calves, which they winter at Dovin's right down the road here, and take them back home. They keep them at Dovin's. That way they're undercover, out of the weather. It's a safe, clean place for them to have their calves. They're all pretty much done calving now. It's just easy area to work, especially when there's snow and ice outside and you're at least in under roof where it might be cold, but there's no treacherous footing. So we loaded all those up and took them home, and that's 4 trailers, truck and trailers worth of cows and calves. There was 8 cows and 4 or 5 calves on my trailer. The next trailer had, I think, 7 or 8 cows with calves. Third trailer had, I think, 8 or 9, and then the last trailer had the remainder of them. There's about 40 cows with calves, plus or minus. I think it's actually a little lower than that, but that's a fun day. We got 2 Dovins at 3:30 and got all the gates set up, started sorting cows and calves out. And if you've ever been down 58 and been by Dovins, you know how large those barns are. I don't remember exactly how long they are, but when you've got 40 cows and calves, they're just running around in circles. There was, 6 or 8 of us trying to, get everybody rounded up and out without knocking anybody over, and you do it calmly, and it's that first wave of excitement, and they all run around, and then once they realize the process, then it's not so big of a deal. And then once you get to the last trailer load, the last group, they're like, oh, hey, where'd all of our friends go? We want to go there too. So we got everybody loaded up and made the trek over to Lester Road, which is where their farm is at, Valley City area, and then backed up to their little barnyard and unloaded them all, a trailer at a time. And they have a little party for the cows coming home, like all the good old country songs. Unfortunately, I've got my own cows at home to take care of, so I wasn't able to hang around, but I'm also I can't sit still. I've got to keep moving and got to keep working. So I got my job done, peeled out. We got to head back west, get stuff done. So we got that done, and like I said, that's always a fun time. And now the cows are back home and on fresh green pastures again, and they'll be there until everybody's bred and pregnant, and it'll be, I think, November, December time. We'll probably bring them back over to Dovins. All right, I'm going to switch gears a bunch on you guys tonight. I apologize. But like I said, I threw this together in like 45 minutes. All the thoughts were in my head. They went on paper. I kind of formatted them. This warm weather, I got to do something that I know I have never done before. And I'm going to say, until someone corrects me, I'm the first one in the area this year. I mowed hay on April 29th. Mowing hay in April is unheard of. Mowing hay in May is kind of, it's not unheard of, but it's you really got to be on the ball, especially when you could have, rain showers at any given minute. But like I've told you guys before, I was out of hay, and I was getting kind of tired of buying hay. The weather was nice. It was just a grass field that is too small for us to till and plant, so we leave it in grass. I make hay off of it 2, 3, 4 times a year whenever I need to. And I decided that April 29th was the right day to do it. So I mowed hay, just a couple acres, let it sit for, let's see, that was a Monday. I don't even know if I have my numbers right, but it was a Monday. I let it sit for a couple days because we got rain on Tuesday that week. And then if it was Wednesday or Thursday, I finally baled it up. I got one whole round bale, which isn't a lot, but that's enough to feed all my stuff for, well, let's see, today's the 8th, and I ran out of that this morning. So it got me far enough, and now I'll start feeding some more bought hay until I can mow my big field down, which will be maybe next week. One of the big problems that I've always ran into is we only ever had 2 100-horse plus tractors at the farm, and both of those were busy in the fields. Well, we have a third 100-horse tractor, so now there's 2 tractors that will be doing field work, and one that I'll be able to make hay with, which I'm super excited about. May hay is about the highest quality first cutting hay you'll make. The grass is still young. It's not seeded out. It's not getting old. The clover's not headed out. Like, everything about May hay just makes me happy. And I usually sit there while we're doing field work and grumble because my hay's getting away from me and I should be making it, and the cows are going to eat it, but they're not going to like it. Well, this year I get to make hay when I want to, provided that the forecasters and the weather cooperates, because the big field, I cannot have that get rained on. Rain on a fresh mowed hay that's a no-no. Like, it doesn't ruin the hay, but your quality decreases drastically when all the nutrients get washed out of it. So I'll watch the radar, and hopefully at the end of the month when I talk to you guys, I'll have made a bunch of first cutting hay, and I'll be happy, and the cows will be happy, and we'll be getting ready, gearing up for second cutting. Because I try to mow my hay every 28 to 30 days. That's kind of the window. It's different than your yard. You want to mow that every week so you're not walking to get your male knee-high grass. You can let hay grow taller because you want that knee-high grass. We're already through our second 10 minutes. Let's take a quick break for Carlisle Creamery.
Have you heard about the creamy delight waiting for you at Carlisle Creamery? Introducing their small herd share program, bringing you the finest raw milk straight from the happiest pasture-raised cows north of Route 20. At Carlisle Creamery, the Hampkers believe in the purity of nature. Their cows graze on lush green pastures, producing milk rich in flavors and nutrients. Join their herd share and experience the goodness of farm fresh, raw milk right in your own home. Get to know your producer and their cows personally and see firsthand where this wholesome product is being produced. Become a part of the Carlisle Creamery family today. Look them up on Facebook or email them at carlislecreamery@gmail.com. Taste the difference at Carlisle Creamery, where every sip tells a story of pure, wholesome goodness. And always remember, know your producer.
Have you guys checked out Carlisle Creamery yet? If you haven't, do yourself a favor. Check them out on Facebook. Get a hold of them. Go see the farm firsthand. A huge, huge congratulations to the Hamker family, because they are now shipping milk along with their herd share program. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but that's a huge deal, especially for them, because they have their loyal herd share members, which hopefully you are, and if you're not, you should be. But those members only use so much milk, and that's a perishable item, right? Like, milk goes bad in a hurry. And so, they're making it every day, but they were making more than the people coming in the door, which, that's not a problem. That happens with milk production. You want to get as much out of those cows as possible, as safely possible, but you also don't want to just throw milk away. They were having to do that quite a bit. So they dove into the whole process of being able to ship to the plants, to the milk plants, which they had everything set up for the herd share. It's all the same process. It's just a bigger scale, and the two quantities can't be the same, if you will. The milk that's shipped has to say separate. You can't just go in and say, hey, I'm going to take a gallon out of there and take it home, because then that bulk tank is compromised. And when it's compromised, you're out. You're done. So they had their, I think it's maybe 100-gallon tank for their herd share people. And then they had to go get, I believe it's a 400-gallon tank for their shipping milk. And they'll be on in June. We're going to hear all about this and the full in-depth details from them. But I just wanted to bring that up quick to congratulate them and show you that it's not just, oh, hey, we're going to ship milk tomorrow. It's been a lengthy process, meeting all the standards, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, calling all the right people, getting the state in to inspect, getting a hold of the plant to make sure what they need to meet for the plant, all that good stuff. And they finally started that, I'm trying to think when that was. Maybe about 2 weeks ago now. I think it was shortly after last podcast. And I haven't had time to reach out and talk to them because obviously I've been swamped. I hope that's going as well as they want it to, and it'll be a good venture for them going forward. Like I said, if you haven't checked them out either on Facebook or in person, make sure you do that, and we'll talk to them here in a month and a half. They'll be on at the end of June. So that'll be exciting. What else is going on at the farm? I feel like I don't get to tell you guys enough of the everyday of the farm life. I get into one section and just go off on it. So, we've spent the last month getting ready for planting season, which meant going out and fixing all of the field tile washouts. So what that is the drain tiles that we have throughout the field, typically in the low-lying spots where it's could be a swamp, if you will. There's a drain tile, corrugated drain tile through there, and if it breaks from age, from what have you, it creates a vortex and pulls all of the dirt right down through like a black hole, and then leaves what we call a washout or a big hole in the field, and they just keep getting bigger if they're not fixed, to the point where if you're not paying attention or if you're trying to fit at night, then you lose the front end of a tractor, and that's a lot of money. So I was fixing those. I told you about the guard ducts. I've got that in my notes now, but obviously we already talked about them. And I also started digging out part of the yard to expand the driveway at the farm for more trailer parking, equipment parking, etc. Hopefully all of our equipment is ready for planting season when we get there. Like I said, maybe this weekend. There's always breakdowns. There's always things that you thought you were. Just like, remember my February show? You think you're ready, and you never are. We think we're ready. We hope we're ready. We'll see what kind of breakdowns happen that we weren't expecting. As we wrap up, don't forget about the YouTube channel. You can go to Everyday Ag Podcast YouTube channel and catch all of the previous podcast episodes. This one will be up next Wednesday. They're also on Spotify. Check out the ButterPig Partners Facebook page. You can also check me out on TikTok at the Everyday Ag Podcast TikTok channel page. I don't know what it is. I'm not tech savvy. But check it out. I'm always posting cute, fun little videos there of me, of the cows, of a lot of the dogs, us going on walks and having a good time. So check that out. I try to put fun stuff up at least once a week, if not more. We do have, if you're interested, some packs of pork chops, smoked pork chops, bacon, ground pork, sausage, stuff like that for sale. If you're interested in buying a small package of your own ButterPig pork, feel free to email me, shoot me a message on Facebook, however you want to do that, and get your own. Try it out and see how great it is. And if you like it, and you want to have your own pig roast this summer, pig roast season is fast approaching, and we do have them getting ready to go. So whether it's a Memorial Day party, July 4th party, Labor Day party, if you're looking for a pig roast, get a hold of us. Let us know. We'll see if we can get set up for you. And as always, if you have any other questions or if you want to suggest content, any of that stuff, please, please, please reach out. Shoot me a message on Facebook. Email me, comment on YouTube, and with that, it's just about time to wrap it up. So we will see you guys all here in 2 weeks. We're going to have my good friend Meg Kelly on the show. She's going to give us the insight of women in agriculture, her journey from, I'm going to call it the pits, but she's worked her way up to where she wants to be and the things she wants to do in life. We'll visit her whole journey, her leatherworking business that she's doing, and like all my other guests, probably way too much more, and a half hour will be done in 5 minutes. So until then, we'll see y'all next time. Stay agventurous.
The proceeding was a paid informational program.